I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy.
There is an overwhelming universal criticism by proponents of pro-choice and opponents of pro-choice that Roe v. Wade was not a very well-reasoned decision. Most constitutional scholars do not offer that as an example of, whether they're for or against abortion, a decision that is well-written and well-reasoned.
All right, guys, so we're on day 2 or 3 of the meltdown of the century coming from the woke revolutionaries on the left over Roe v. Wade being overturned. And I'm telling you guys, the madness, the outrage has not died down at all. These people are still pissed.
It's all right. It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out. Let it out. Everybody wants to show the happy side. I'm mad as hell today! But because I have responsibilities, I'm gonna do these freaking dishes. Whew.
Yeah, so who would be surprised that doing dishes would calm a woman's anger? Right? Again, yeah, I think you need to be more worried about that than you need to be about Roe v. Wade. But not only are they angry and they're pissed, you have some of the woke revolutionaries on the left coming out here and overtly calling for violence in response to Roe v. Wade being overturned. And before I play this clip, I got to give a disclaimer here and let the YouTube moderators know that I am condemning this type of language and these type of threats that these people are issuing. This is wrong, right? People should not be doing this and it should be condemned.
I just feel like the way that we've protested in the past has not worked very well. Now, I'm not advocating for burning down buildings. I'm not advocating for it. But trauma and destruction's kind of the thing that I love. So, if you guys want to join me in mailing blood from your uterus to the Supreme Court, I already took the fucking bullet and did it first. So, you know, let's do it. Come on. You guys don't want to keep that shit in your house. Just mail it. It's going in the trash anyway.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Very classy, right? I don't know what it is about these left-wing women, these liberal women, but they're very trashy, right? They're extremely trashy. And they're running around here afraid that if they get pregnant, they're not going to be able to get rid of it. And I'm like, you guys are so trashy. I don't know who would impregnate you in the first place, right? But what people like this woman is saying here has resulted in violence. We've seen violence throughout the country in these left-wing liberal cities, a lot of whom still going to be able to keep their so-called rights, okay? But for whatever reason, they're destroying their own cities. And when the Democrats are asked to condemn the violence, of course they refuse to do so, like always.
I want to ask you about this Homeland Security warning that domestic violent extremists may intensify violence. In the bulletin that CBS obtained, it specifically mentioned an incident in Michigan related to a pro-abortion rights group. How concerned are you about violence? What are you seeing on the ground?
I am concerned about a lot of things happening in the United States right now. And frankly, the last couple of decisions that came out of this United States Supreme Court make America a lot more dangerous. More guns, fewer rights, less health care. It is scary. And as a lawyer, it crushes me to say that even I am losing faith that these important institutions that are supposed to be above the politics of the day are now being corrupted. And that's what we're seeing out of our United States Supreme Court. And I am very concerned about our long-term prosperity, our homeland security, and our safety.
Wow, incredible. Absolutely incredible. When asked directly about the left-wing extremist violence going on in this country, the domestic terrorism going on in this country to be exact, Gretchen Whitmer, who, by the way, went on and on and on about these so-called right-wing Trump supporting white supremacists that they weren't really Trump supporters. We don't know if they're white supremacists. Allegedly trying to kidnap and assassinate her. Okay, even though, there's question about whether or not the FBI actually was playing a role in that. But anyways, she'll boohoo and whine and cry about that when her life is in danger. But when the lives of Supreme Court justices are in danger, okay, or, the workers at some of these pro-life clinics are in danger because of left-wing extremists, crickets, right? She completely deflects to talk about how the Supreme Court is endangering people because of their rulings on guns and Roe v. Wade. Again, this is absolutely incredible. It is absolutely incredible how the Democrats simply will not ever condemn the political extremism, the political violence on their side of the aisle. But they'll look at people on the right, they'll look at Republicans and say, you must condemn January 6th. You're an insurrectionist if you don't. We have insurrection being waged right in front of us, and they're not saying anything. They're just ignoring it. They simply don't care. Again, these people have no leg to stand on when it comes to so-called democracy. This is why Republicans are trusted more in this country when it comes to democracy than Democrats. Even though Democrats have went on and on and on about democracy for the last 2 years. The reason why is because everybody knows they're full of it, right? So with that being said, not only has the Democrats revealed how they don't care about extremism when it comes to political violence, they also don't care about extremism when it comes to this issue at all, really, because what they really want is an unrestricted right to abortion no matter what, okay? And they will go as far as to also advocate that abortion clinics be opened up on federal lands, which is exactly what AOC said.
We have many ideas. We have some ideas coming from Senator Warren, signed a letter along with 25 other Democratic senators asking President Biden to explore opening healthcare clinics on federal lands in red states in order to help people access the healthcare and abortion services that they need.
And Stacey Abrams, when confronted about how far abortion should go, right? How long should you be allowed to get an abortion? She basically had no answer for it. She refused to answer the question.
Do you support any limitation on abortion, or do you think that women should have the right to have an abortion all the way up to 9 months?
I believe an abortion is a medical decision, and I believe that should be a choice made between a doctor and a woman and in consultation with her family. But I think the challenge that we have is that we keep putting this in a political space. This is a medical decision, and the medical choices that should be made should be governed by what is best for that woman and what is best at the suggestion of and advice of their doctor.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand. Democrats are just the party of extremists, and they really are, guys. They're extreme on almost every issue, okay? I don't know where in the world that people get the idea that somehow Democrats are moderate and that Republicans are the ones that are extreme. To me, it always seems like Republicans are the ones that are compromising with Democrats, not the other way around, right? And I don't think that the Republican Party should continue compromising with these extremists anymore, because they are truly extreme, okay? And they will go through extreme lengths in order to get their way, including advocating to basically dissolve the Supreme Court, saying that it's illegitimate, calling for it to be teared down, and saying that, hey, we want to impeach the Supreme Court justices. Take a look.
You know, you saw Justice Thomas's concurring opinion, I know, calling on the court to reconsider rulings, striking down state restrictions, contraception, gay marriage. Are you concerned about that? You also heard what the rest of the court said about that.
I am deeply concerned about that. I understand that the rest of the court said, no, we're not going there. But remember how we got to where we are. When Roe versus Wade first came down, there was a tiny minority that really put a lot of energy into, in effect, for themselves and for Republicans, putting Roe on the ballot over and over. But on the ballot didn't mean try to get it through the Congress, because they knew they couldn't do that. They're not even close to having national support for that. So instead, it was about getting extremist judges into the United States Supreme Court. And let's see how much credibility those justices have now. Replay the tapes of one after another saying that Roe versus Wade is settled law and no one disturbs settled law.
And I was going to ask you about that, Senator.
As soon as they can count the numbers, they toss it out.
And Senator Susan Collins, who voted for Justice Kavanaugh, as well as Joe Manchin, have said they were misled. Do you think the process should change now? Of confirming justices.
You know, look, I understand that Justice Kavanaugh, for example, I don't know what he said to Senator Collins. I wasn't in the room. But I do know this, that the Republicans have been very overt about trying to get people through the court who didn't have a published record on Roe, but who they knew, wink, wink, nod, nod, were going to be extremists on the issue of Roe versus Wade. And that is exactly what we have ended up with. This court has lost legitimacy. They have burned whatever legitimacy they may still have had after their gun decision, after their voting decision, after their union decision. They just took the last of it and set a torch to it with the Roe versus Wade opinion. I believe we need to get some confidence back in our court, and that means we need more justices on the United States Supreme Court.
And I know that's something you support. Thank you.
It's happened before. We've done it before. We need to do it again.
That they can now lie to duly elected members of the United States Senate in order to secure Supreme Court confirmations and seats on the Supreme Court. This is what we're saying.
Do you think lying in a confirmation hearing is an impeachable offense?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I believe lying under oath is an impeachable offense. I believe that violating federal law in not disclosing income from political organizations, as Clarence Thomas did years ago, is also potentially an impeachable offense. I believe that that not recusing from cases that one clearly has family members involved in with very deep violations of conflict of interest are also impeachable offenses. And I believe that this is something that should be very seriously considered, including by senators like Joe Manchin and Susan Collins.
Yeah, guys, so that is the Democrats basically saying, well, we don't get our way, then we should tear down the Supreme Court. Let's tear down democracy. Okay? That is what they're saying. These are the same people that talked so much about democracy the past 2 years, and as soon as democracy doesn't work the way they want it to work, they want to tear it down. Does anybody believe that when the Democrats get blown out in 2022 and in 2024, y'all don't think they're going to come out here and start making all types of claims about the election? Of course they are. This is a preview of that. This is a preview of what is going to be the biggest insurrection in this country that we ever seen. The biggest coup attempt that we're going to see in this country in history is about to come up. I promise you. I'm telling you. These guys, when they lose, they don't go back to the drawing board and reevaluate, okay, why did we lose? How did this happen? How can we get better? How can we get people to actually vote for us? You know, what can we do to earn people's votes? Right? No, that's not what they do. They don't embrace democracy. What they do is say, no, we need to tear down democracy. Okay, we need to impeach the Supreme Court justices. We need to pack the court, right? That is what they're saying. That is what they're calling for. Guys, could you imagine if any Republican came out here and started talking about packing the Supreme Court just because they made a decision that Republicans didn't agree with, or saying, oh, we need to impeach liberal Supreme Court justices because they made a decision that we didn't agree with? I don't think Republicans have ever said that. I don't think Republicans have ever called for that. But Democrats, again, basically since Trump been in office, and even before that as well too, but especially since Trump been in office, they've just ignored democracy, right? They ignored democracy when Trump was elected. They never accepted him as legitimate. They didn't accept Kavanaugh when he was nominated as legitimate. They stormed the Capitol, right, in response to that. And then look what's happening now. Look what's happening now. The Democrats are a party of violent political extremism. Right? I mean, that's just what it is. And if you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. They're telling you right in front of your face. Right? Again, this is absolutely insane. This is bonkers. And you know what's, and the worst part about it, guys, is that the mainstream liberal media is not really going to hold their feet to the fire over this stuff. They're going to turn their heads away, just like the Democrats turn their heads away and pretend like it didn't happen. You'll have a few people in the media that'll call it out every now and then, but nobody's going to be calling for a Roe v. Wade commission, right? Because we need a Roe v. Wade commission. We need a commission to investigate these extremist groups that are actively trying to go after these Supreme Court justices, that are threatening their lives. We need an investigation into these Democrats that are ignoring it and refusing to condemn it. Are they involved? Are they funding some of this stuff? Are they pushing some of this stuff? Yeah, we need to put them on blast, right? We need to put them on blast. That's what needs to happen, okay? Because this is absolutely unacceptable. It really is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.